ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real quick. There is a version of you that does not chase. There is a version of you that does not beg. There is a version of you that doesn't have to scream her worth because the room already knows it the moment she walks in. And that version of you, that's who men chase. Everybody talks about confidence like it's this thing you got to perform, like it's a show you put on for the world. But let me tell you something. Real confidence ain't loud. It don't need a microphone. It don't need an audience. It don't need to scream, look at me. It walks in the room and changes the temperature without saying a word. Because real confidence, that kind of confidence is undeniable. You ever seen somebody walk in a room and everybody just feels it? They're not doing too much. They're not talking the loudest. They're not dressed the wildest, but there's something about them that's confidence. That's the kind of energy that makes people lean in. And let me tell you something, ladies. That's the kind of energy that makes a man take notice. That's the kind of presence that don't chase nobody. It draws everything in. See, when you loud with it, when you got to post it, flaunt it, show it, shout it, that ain't confidence. That's insecurity in a costume. That's you hoping somebody claps loud enough so you can believe in yourself. But when you really got it, when you really know who you are and what you're worth, you don't need confirmation. You don't need likes. You don't need approval. And you sure don't need to beg anybody to see you. Confidence is built in the quiet. It's built in those moments where nobody is watching. It's built when you get up after failing, when you keep showing up for yourself even when it don't feel good. It's built when you know your worth even after somebody didn't choose you. Because let me be real with you, people who are chosen by others ain't always confident, but people who choose themselves over and over, those are the ones who radiate something different. You want to know why confidence is so attractive? Because it's rare. It's rare to meet someone who's not trying to impress, who's just being, who ain't trying to compete with nobody because they know there's no competition when you stay in your lane. Confidence is peace. It's stability. It's the kind of thing that says, I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. It's not about walking in thinking you're better. It's about walking in knowing you belong. Let me break this down for you, because some of y'all think confidence means being aggressive. No. Confidence is calm. Confidence don't need to check your phone 50 times to see if he texted back. Confidence says if he didn't, that's his loss. Confidence don't blow up somebody's phone trying to prove you're worthy. Confidence says I'm not going to beg anyone to see was already obvious. Men can smell desperation, just like they can feel confidence. And believe me when I say this, a confident woman is unforgettable. She's not trying to convince. She's not trying to be chosen. She's already chosen herself. And that's what makes men chase. That's what makes people respect you, because you respect yourself. And listen, don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is loud because it's scared. It's putting on a show. Confidence is rooted. It's solid. It don't have to tear nobody else down to feel good. It don't have to flash it, fake it, or force it. It just is. It shows up in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you handle rejection, how you respond when things don't go your way. So stop thinking you got to be the loudest woman in the room to be noticed. Stop thinking you got to compete with anybody. Just be undeniable. Handle your business. Walk with grace. Speak with purpose. Move like your presence is a privilege, because it is. That kind of confidence, that's what makes heads turn. That's what gets remembered. And that's what gets chased. That's what they don't teach you. But now you know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break this down for you. Confidence is not something you put on like a costume. It's not loud, because loud is usually trying too hard. Real confidence is quiet but undeniable. When you carry yourself with that kind of energy, men chase, not because you're begging or trying to prove your worth, but because your mindset says, I'm the prize. And when you believe that, the world has no choice but to believe it too. You have to value yourself like you're rare, because you are. There's nobody else like you. Stop giving discounts on your time, your love, or your standards to people who haven't even earned them. You don't negotiate your self-worth. If you don't respect yourself, don't expect anybody else to respect you. That's rule number one. Chasing, that's rooted in fear and lack. But what if I told you that you don't have to chase? That you can sit back, focus on your growth, your goals, your happiness, and let what's meant for you catch up. When your mindset is right, the right people will come find you, because men chase what they respect, not just what they want. Respect is a currency. And when you walk in the room like you own it, when you speak with conviction and act with purpose, you demand respect. You don't have to scream it or force it. It's naturally given to those who know their value and refuse to settle. You don't beg for a seat at the table when you already own the room. Your mindset is the filter that attracts or repels everything in your life. If you're thinking small, settling for less, you attract small, less than experiences. But when you think big, when you know your worth, and you set your standards high, you raise your vibration, and guess what? That vibration pulls in the right energy, the kind of energy that chases, that pursues, that respects. Let me tell you, confidence isn't about being loud or flashy. It's about being calm, grounded, and sure of yourself. Real confidence is knowing you're enough, even if nobody shows up to tell you that. It's built when you get up after failure, when you keep going, even when nobody's watching, when you love yourself on your worst days. You can't fake confidence. People see right through it. But when you're authentic and real, that's magnetic. Men don't chase what's fake. They chase what's real. They chase what they feel respect for. And respect starts with self-respect. Don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is loud because it's scared. Confidence is quiet because it's secure. Confidence doesn't tear others down. It uplifts itself. Confidence doesn't beg, it waits. Confidence doesn't compete, it owns its lane. Stop waiting on validation from others to feel good about yourself. You don't need a man's approval to know your worth. You don't need a relationship to feel complete. When you're whole on your own, that's when men chase. Because you become a woman with options, not a woman chasing them. Be clear about what you want and what you won't tolerate. Set boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. When a man sees a woman who knows her boundaries and sticks to them, he respects her more. He chases her because she's not desperate. She's deliberate. You can't rush this mindset. It's a journey. But every step you take toward loving yourself more, toward valuing yourself higher, the less you'll feel the need to chase, and the more you'll experience men chasing you. You don't have to change yourself for anyone. Real confidence is about embracing your flaws and your strengths equally. It's about owning your story, your experiences, and walking in your truth. And let me tell you something. Men don't chase what they don't understand. So be clear. Be confident in your communication. Be confident in your actions. Show up fully for yourself, and they'll have no choice but to chase. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Your actions and mindsets say everything that needs to be said. Be patient, trust your process, keep growing, keep shining, and watch how the right people come running toward you. Remember, men chase when you have this mindset. It's not about games or tricks. It's about self-love, respect, confidence, and clarity. When you have that, chasing becomes unnecessary. You become the one who is chosen, the one who is pursued, the one who is respected. So don't chase, level up your mindset, and watch everything else fall into place. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about something every woman needs to hear. Men chase wins when you have this mindset. Now, I'm not talking about playing games or tricks. I'm talking about that real deep mindset that makes you unstoppable and magnetic at the same time. First, confidence ain't about shouting from the rooftops. It's quiet but undeniable. When you walk in a room knowing your worth, men notice that. Confidence says, I'm not desperate. I'm not begging. I'm the prize. And that kind of mindset makes men chase you because they see a woman who knows her value and doesn't settle for less. Second, value yourself like you're rare. You are. You've got something special that nobody else has, so stop giving discounts on your time, your love, and your standards. Men chase what they respect, and respect comes when you treat yourself like the treasure you are. Third, stop chasing and start attracting. When you're focused on building your life, your goals, your happiness, you stop worrying about who's calling back or texting first. The right men will chase you because you've created a mindset where you're not running after people, you're running toward your own greatness. Fourth, men chase what they respect, not just what they want. And respect doesn't come from desperation or neediness. It comes from strength, from knowing who you are, and from standing firm in your standards. When you hold your head high and refuse to settle, men will step up because they recognize a woman who won't be played. Fifth, you don't have to beg for a seat at the table when you own the room. This mindset is about owning your space, speaking your truth, and carrying yourself with dignity. When you do that, men chase because they see a woman who is powerful and in control of her life. Finally, your mindset is the filter. It attracts or repels everything in your life. If you believe in yourself, if you walk with purpose and clarity, you attract men who are on your level, who respect you, and who chase you. But if your mindset is rooted in doubt or insecurity, you'll chase and never catch. So ladies, remember this. Men chase when you have this mindset. Be confident, value yourself, stop chasing, command respect, Own your space and walk with purpose. That's how you become irresistible. That's how you make men chase. Let me tell you something about confidence. A lot of folks think confidence means being loud, flashy, or the center of attention. But real confidence, it ain't loud. Real confidence is quiet. It's the kind of energy that doesn't need to yell or prove itself because it already knows its worth. When a confident woman walks in a room, you don't need to hear her voice booming to know she's there. You feel it. It's undeniable. See, confidence is not about the volume of your voice or how many people notice you. It's about how you carry yourself when nobody's watching. It's about that steady, calm assurance deep down that says, I know who I am and I'm enough. And that kind of confidence, it doesn't fade depending on how many likes you get on social media or whether a man texts you back. It's built on something way stronger than external approval. Think about the last time you saw someone truly confident. Maybe it was a woman who didn't have to brag or show off to get respect. Maybe she wasn't the loudest in the room, but every eye was on her. That's what I'm talking about. She didn't have to convince anybody. She didn't have to try. She just was confident. And that, my friends, is magnetic. That kind of confidence pulls people in, including men. Men chase that energy because it's rare and real. Now, I'm gonna be honest, confidence ain't something you're born with. It's something you build. It comes from showing up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It comes from surviving your hardest days and still loving yourself when nobody else does. It's built in those quiet moments where you choose self-respect over self-doubt. Real confidence is knowing your value so deeply that the opinions of others don't shake you. It's knowing that rejection doesn't define you, failure doesn't stop you, and mistakes don't erase your worth. When you have that mindset, you walk through life like you own it. Not because you're better than anybody else, but because you believe you deserve good things. And let me tell you, men notice that. Here's the truth. Men don't chase noise. They chase presence. They chase a woman who is steady, sure, and secure. When you move desperate, when you try too hard to prove you're worthy, men sense it. And that sends them running the other way. But when you calm and sure, when you don't need to force attention, men will chase. Because your confidence is like a magnet. You see, confidence is a quiet power. It's the power to say no when you want to say yes. It's the power to walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't serve your best interest. It's the power to love yourself first and hardest without waiting for anybody else to do it for you. And when you do that, men will chase you because they see a woman who won't settle. They see a woman who stands her ground. I want you to hear me when I say this. Stop confusing loud with confident. Just because somebody talks a lot or tries to be the loudest in the room doesn't mean they're confident. Sometimes that loudness is hiding fear, insecurity, or low self-esteem. But real confidence is secure. It's steady, it's calm, and it's something men chase because it's authentic. Another thing about confidence is that it doesn't need to compete. A confident woman isn't worried about what other women are doing. She isn't comparing herself to anybody else. She's too busy loving herself and building her life. That kind of mindset, it's powerful. It makes men respect you because they see you respect yourself. And let me remind you, confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud because it's scared. Arrogance tries to tear others down to feel better. But confidence lifts others up because it knows it doesn't have to compete. Confidence shines in kindness, in grace, and in the quiet strength of a woman who knows her worth. So if you want men to chase you, start by building your confidence. Build it not on what people say about you or how many dates you get, but on your own belief in yourself. Practice self-love every day. Celebrate your wins, learn from your losses, and remind yourself often, you are enough. You don't have to shout it out loud, just live it. And when you do, that confidence will be undeniable. When confidence becomes who you are, you don't have to chase anybody. Men will chase you because your energy says, I'm the prize. And trust me, that's the mindset every woman needs to own. That's the power of real confidence, quiet, strong, and absolutely undeniable. Let me tell you something. Every woman needs to understand you have to value yourself like you're rare. And when I say rare, I mean one of a kind. You ain't just some ordinary woman on the street trying to fit in or settle for scraps. No, you're a diamond in a world full of rocks. You've got something special that nobody else has. And if you don't recognize that first, how do you expect the world to see it? How do you expect any man to chase you when you're giving yourself away like you're common? Too many women don't know their worth, so they hand it out freely to the wrong people, to people who don't appreciate it, to people who don't even know how to respect it. But let me break this down for you. Respect is a two-way street, and it starts with you. When you value yourself, you set the standard for how others will treat you. You're telling the world, I'm rare, I'm valuable. If you want me, you better bring your best. And guess what? Men chase what they respect, and respect is born from seeing your value. Valuing yourself means you stop lowering your standards just to keep somebody around. It means you stop saying yes to things that don't feel right just because you're scared to be alone. It means you stop chasing people who don't chase you back. Because when you truly value yourself, you realize that settling for less isn't an option. You realize that your time, your energy, and your love are precious. You realize you're worth fighting for, not begging for. Now, here's the part many women struggle with. You got to stop chasing. I know you want love, you want attention, you want to feel wanted, but chasing, that's desperation wearing a fancy dress. Chasing tells the world you're needy. It tells men you're willing to do anything just to get a little attention. And let me be real with you. That kind of energy doesn't make men chase, it makes them run. Because men chase what they have to work for, what challenges them, what respects their worth. If you're running after them, you're handing them the power and you lose. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if I told you that when you focus on yourself, your goals, your happiness, when you get busy building your life instead of chasing someone else's, what's meant for you will come running. That's right. You don't have to be out there begging, calling, texting, or playing games. When your mindset shifts from chasing to attracting, the right people show up because men chase what they see as rare, valuable, and confident. See, chasing comes from fear and lack. It's the feeling that if you don't grab it now, you'll lose it forever. But when you value yourself, you know better. You know your worth. You know that what's meant for you won't pass you by. That's why you stop chasing and start trusting the process. You put your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, and you let life do the rest. When you do this, your mindset changes. You walk with purpose, with clarity. You stop worrying about who's calling or texting and start focusing on your dreams and your goals. You don't lose sleep over someone else's actions because your peace is too important. That's the kind of mindset that makes men chase. They chase because you're no longer easy to get. You've raised your standards, and that makes you irresistible. Let me tell you, men chase what's rare, what's confident, what's unbothered by nonsense. They chase a woman who's too busy loving herself to waste time chasing somebody else. They chase a woman who knows her worth and refuses to settle for less. They chase a woman who's standing in her power, who owns her space, and who walks in her truth. So ladies, start valuing yourself like the rare gem you are. Stop chasing what's not meant for you. Get busy with your life, your growth, your happiness. When you do that, watch how the right men start chasing you. Because men chase when you have this mindset, a mindset rooted in self-worth, respect, and the power of letting go. And remember, chasing isn't love. Chasing is fear. Real love chases you back. Real respect chases you back. So value yourself, stop chasing, and let what's meant for you come find you. That's how you win. That's how men chase. Listen, ladies, this is something that many people don't want to tell you, but I'm going to keep it real. Men chase what they respect, not just what they want. A lot of times, folks confuse desire with respect. Men might want something for a moment, but if they don't respect it, they're not going to chase it long term. You see, respect is the foundation of any relationship that lasts. Respect means they see you as valuable, as worthy, as someone who isn't just a temporary fix or a convenience. When a man respects you, he's willing to put in the work, to show up consistently, and to pursue you with intention. Now, respect ain't something you beg for. It's not something you can force by trying harder or chasing more. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, by the standards you set, and by how you refuse to accept less than you deserve. Men chase respect because it makes them feel like they're with a woman who knows her worth. And trust me, that kind of woman doesn't settle for crumbs or leftovers. She demands the whole meal, and that's why men chase her. Speaking of demanding, here's the next truth. You don't have to beg for a seat at the table when you own the room. Too many women are out here trying to squeeze in, trying to be noticed, trying to make space for themselves like it's some kind of charity. But honey, if you own your space, if you walk with confidence and purpose, the seat is already yours. You don't have to ask permission or plead for attention. You don't have to dim your light or shrink yourself to fit into somebody else's world. When you own the room, you're the one who commands it. And men chase that power. Owning your room means you show up fully, unapologetically yourself. It means you speak your truth, carry yourself with dignity, and don't allow anyone to make you feel less than. It means you know your value so well that you don't waste time on people who don't see it. And that, my sister, is magnetic. Men chase what they can't have easily. And when you own your space, you become that prize they want to win. Now, here's the game changer. Your mindset is the filter that attracts or repels everything in your life. This mindset thing is not just some fancy idea. It's real. It's powerful. It's the way you see yourself that tells the world how to see you. If your mindset is full of doubt, insecurity, and low self-worth, guess what? That's the energy you're sending out. You're attracting men who match that energy. Maybe men who don't respect you or who aren't ready to chase you because they sense you don't believe in yourself. But when your mindset is strong, when you believe you deserve love, respect, and happiness, everything changes. You become a magnet for the right kind of energy. You attract men who chase you because they feel your confidence. They see your standards. They recognize that you're not someone to be taken lightly. And that mindset comes from deep inside. It's about loving yourself first, setting clear boundaries, and refusing to settle. Your mindset is like a filter, and it decides who gets through and who doesn't. When you're clear about your worth and what you want, you don't waste time with people who don't meet your standards. You don't chase after every guy who gives you attention. Instead, you attract the ones who are willing to put in the work, the ones who respect you, and the ones who are ready to chase because they see you as the prize. So if you want men to chase you, it all starts here. Respect yourself, own your space, and guard your mindset like your life depends on it, because it does. When you do that, you create a life and a presence that men can't help but chase. They chase what they respect, what they can't take for granted, and what they know is rare. Don't get it twisted. Chasing isn't love. Chasing is fear and insecurity. Real love, real respect, and real pursuit come when you have this mindset. So step into your power. Walk into every room like you own it, and let your mindset do the rest. Men chase when you have this mindset. That's the truth. That's the secret. And now you know it. Now listen, one of the most important things I want you to understand is this. You don't negotiate your self-worth. Let me say it again so it sinks in. You do not negotiate your self-worth. There's no discount, no special offer, no sale on who you are. You can't lower your standards just because someone else isn't ready to meet them. You can't change your values just because it's easier to keep somebody around. No. When you know your worth, you hold firm. You stand your ground. You refuse to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. And I'm not just talking about in relationships. I'm talking about in every area of your life. The way you allow people to treat you, the way you carry yourself, the choices you make, all of that starts with knowing your worth and not negotiating it for anything or anybody. Now, the reason so many women chase is because chasing is rooted in fear and lack. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being good enough. Fear that if they don't act fast or do whatever it takes, they'll lose what little they think they have. That's a mindset of scarcity, a belief that there's not enough love, not enough respect, not enough attention to go around. When you operate from that place, you chase, you beg, you try to hold on to people who aren't willing to stay. But I want you to understand, chasing comes from lack, not abundance. When you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, when you believe that there's plenty of good love and respect to go around, you stop chasing. You start trusting that what's meant for you will come at the right time in the right way. And that's when men chase you, because you're no longer desperate, you're deliberate. Real confidence is calm and grounded. It's not about shouting, showing off, or trying to prove something to the world. Real confidence is that quiet power that comes from within. It's the peace you feel when you know who you are, what you want, and what you deserve. It's the strength to stand tall even when the world tries to knock you down. It's the ability to say no without guilt, to walk away without regret, and to love yourself unconditionally. When you carry that kind of confidence, you don't need to chase anybody because your energy speaks louder than words. Men chase that calm assurance because it's rare and powerful. It tells them you're secure, whole, and not afraid to be yourself. And here's something else that trips people up. Don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is loud because it's scared. It's trying to hide insecurity behind a big ego and loud words. Arrogance puts others down to lift itself up. It's fragile, even if it looks strong. Confidence, on the other hand, is secure. It's humble. It knows it doesn't have to compete or compare. Confidence builds others up because it's not threatened by anyone else's light. Confidence is a steady, grounded presence that commands respect without demanding it. Men chase confidence, not arrogance, because confidence is authentic. It's the real deal. So let me put this all together for you. Don't negotiate your self-worth. Know that chasing comes from fear and lack, and choose to live from abundance instead. Build real confidence that's calm and grounded, not loud and insecure. And always remember, confidence is not arrogance. When you live by these truths, you create a mindset that men can't resist. They chase because they respect you, because they see your strength, and because they see your strength, and because they know you won't settle for less. This mindset changes everything. It changes how you see yourself, how you let others treat you, and how you show up in your life. And when you have this mindset, men chase. That's the power of knowing your worth, living confidently, and walking with purpose. Ladies, I want to talk to you about something that will change the way men see you forever. Confidence isn't loud. It's undeniable. It's not about being the loudest or the flashiest person in the room. Real confidence is quiet power. It's the kind of energy that doesn't need to scream to be heard. When a woman walks into a room with that calm assurance, men notice. They feel it before they even see it. Confidence says, I know my worth, and I'm not here to prove it to you or anyone else. And that kind of confidence makes men chase because it's rare and magnetic. Now, if you really want men to chase, you've got to value yourself like you're rare. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're a diamond, a one-of-a-kind gem. When you start to see yourself that way, it changes everything. You stop giving discounts on your time, your love, and your respect. You stop settling for scraps and start demanding the whole meal. Men chase what they respect, and respect comes from seeing that you value yourself. If you don't value yourself, no man will. That's just the way it works. But here's something a lot of women miss. Stop chasing and start attracting. When you're busy chasing after every man who gives you attention, you look desperate. And desperation is a big turnoff. But when you focus on building your life, chasing your dreams, and loving yourself, you stop worrying about who's calling or texting. You stop begging for attention. That's when men start chasing you, because you've created a mindset where you're not running after people, you're running toward your own greatness. That energy, it's magnetic. Men chase what they respect, not just what they want. Desire alone won't keep a man coming back. Men might want a lot of things, but respect is what makes them chase consistently. Respect comes when you hold your standards, when you refuse to be treated like an option, when you stand firm in who you are. And men chase respect because it makes them feel like they're with a woman who values herself and demands to be treated right. Respect is the foundation for real pursuit. And finally, you don't have to beg for a seat at the table when you own the room. Too many women act like they need permission to be great, like they have to squeeze in or fight for a place. But when you own your space, when you walk in with confidence, when you speak your truth, when you carry yourself with dignity, the seat is already yours. You don't have to plead for attention or approval. Men chase women who own their power, who command respect without asking for it. Owning your room means you're the prize, and men chase prizes. So remember, confidence that's undeniable, valuing yourself like a rare gem, stopping the chase and attracting greatness instead, holding on to respect over desire, and owning your room without begging, that's the mindset that makes men chase. Live it, believe it, and watch how your life changes. Men chase when you have this mindset, and that mindset starts with you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break something down for you real quick. Confidence isn't loud, it's undeniable. Too many people think confidence is about how loud you can be, how many people notice you, or how flashy you act. But real confidence is quiet, it's calm. It's that feeling when you walk into a room and don't have to say a word for everyone to know you're somebody. That kind of confidence comes from knowing your worth so deeply that you don't need to prove it to anybody. And when a man sees that kind of confidence, he chases it. Because it's rare, it's powerful, and it's magnetic. Now, speaking of worth, you got to value yourself like you're rare. You're not just another woman out here trying to get by. You're a one-of-a-kind gem, a diamond that doesn't come around every day. When you start seeing yourself this way,